I think this is it's a horrible scenario for people like us to try and make predictions about where this one's going to go because, thank God I'm not a betting man because this is just not something I ever want to be part of because I can't even decide where you'd go here. This is a grim scenario, but it's essentially a best of one on a map that everybody knows at the back of their hand to decide who goes towards Pro League. I mean, you don't get much better than that. You don't get as fine margins as you do there. But I think we are just about ready to get things underway. forZe starting on that T side, Endpoint starting on the CT side. One more map, Trav, and we decide who books their slot towards Pro League.
Let's see. One ticket for Malta is available. Who takes it? Zorte looking to try and do the damage with PT50 toward Palace. shalfey, though, he's battling on his own toward mid, and that will give NertZ a free opening. That takes Heavy God, though, and of course, forZe have got that advance toward the A bomb site, and when you have a player so deep into a jungle, it can be so hard to clear it out. A couple of players are spotted there by Resort, so he decides to go back toward Connector instead, but he meets MHL. There is a flank coming in from CT, so Crad has position, even though it's a 3 versus 4, and Zorte still alive and proving to be a problem, but MiGHTYMAX is on the bomb right now. He's been removed by Jerry. The kit's now on the floor, but all the kills are still coming through. Crad's in the smoke with a knife, but Surreal just destroyed him. Have they got the kit on the bomb? I don't think they have. They haven't found it yet. Surreal's finally found it now, and I think he's just okay. Oh, scary and spooky for a second, but Endpoint take the pistol.
Great start. Needed as well, I guess. You can take the positives over towards forZe. A bomb plant will give them some money to work with. Do they make that tough decision of force buying in towards the next? I think that would be ill-advised. I think they're actually better off just sticking above that 2K mark and then be happy with money in the next. But no, they are going to fully invest in. I'm not a huge fan of this unless it works in their favor, and then, no questions asked. But it's just what they can bring to the table. The Galils compared to the M4s don't know exactly in their favor, and Zorte's only on a deagle, and that's the thing that really does worry me. They're just flying up Palace. They're just going to outstyle. They are. Jerry's called for a whole W, and it's actually sort of working. MHL trade them out. Numbers in favor of Endpoint, but my God, look at the space Crad's created.
Crad's in a very interesting spot, but now it means nothing. Zilch. Because the bomb is dropped in front of Heavy God. It's in their possession. And that is a very interesting call from forZe, isn't it? To go for a fast apps pop in this sort of round. A round in which you maybe would have expected something slightly different. Historically, when they've gone for these second round buys, they just like playing normal defaults and going for picks. And honestly, they do have a buy like that after the bomb plant on the pistol. It can often be the way to go, but I'm going to be the one to say it's a mistake. But at the moment, it's not going in their favour. Now Crad's position is now known. Heavy God is refusing to budge. In the end, MHL will take the kill. Big start to Mirage for Endpoint. They're going to have a guaranteed third coming in here unless something crazy happens. forZe. A couple of weird calls early on.
I mean, I guess they made it expensive, which is nice, but again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying for forZe, where I'm not a huge fan in that scenario going for the force buy. I think, sometimes it's all right, but just the fact that, you had Zorte coming in with only a deagle and they really lack utility was always going to make that extremely difficult to work in their favor, and it has come back to bite them now. Yeah, you're spot on, right? Endpoint, on paper, this should be a pretty clean-cut third on the board, and actually, maybe, a decent little run to come through here. Early nade coming through, Molotov as well, just denies a bit of that B-Apps presence. But for Endpoints, they're more than happy just to sit back, park up, and allow for forZe to take, this early map control. But what can they do off the back of it? Well, nothing really.
NertZ, the trustiest of MP7s. The Empire. He loves that one. And he loves that opening kill as well. Building up the money with the SMG. Was on this low investment. Waiting for the guns in the next round. Walking into 2 players. Heavy God in the end gets both of them. That'll get a nice 1 dig though. And that actually gives him a bomb plant on A. His 1 deagle headshot. His 1 dig. Does get forZe a nice little injection of cash. And that's doing a lot of good damage here. Second kill coming through. He's tagged down NertZ as well. He actually hits another body shot before NertZ finally finishes it off. Well played to Crad. That is a good couple and a good bomb plant as well. More than probably he thought he would get. But Endpoint still take the round.
Don't give him his credit, actually, to be fair. I mean, he does an alright job, decent amount of damage, but overall, does it make a difference? No, not even slightly. 3 remain alive as Endpoint find 3, and are starting to build up quite the repertoire already on their CT side. But here's where we go back to kind of that full buy. And this is what the start has been in both of the first 2 maps. Ancient and Overpass, exactly the same starts, where for Endpoint, they find the first 2 rounds, simple stuff, win the pistol, win the force buys. When it comes to the full buys, the buy wars, that's when Endpoint actually starts to struggle. So if they're able to find a 4th here and really solidify some success, then I start to get comfortable. But so far, this has just been as things have panned out in the other 2 maps, and well, neither of those were comfortable for Endpoint.
Indeed. As you said before the game, and as we said in our little break as well, you have to wonder what this has done to the mental of forZe. Young players, and as I've said before, of course, Jerry himself, while he might have a lot of experience, 5.5 years on this one organisation, bringing up so many players, he's pretty young himself. He's only 24. See how it pans out and if they can recover it. T-side start, of course, not necessarily easy, but they can grind out 5 or 6 and they probably will be pretty content keeping it competitive. As long as they do that, you feel like they'll always have a chance on CT. We saw them close it out very nicely against Falcons yesterday. Assault will go down early. He did not have a good Mirage yesterday at all. Did Assault. He's not had a good start here either. Short play coming through, but Max has just tripled down, increasing his tally after the first kill in Apartments. Gets both the kills coming towards short, and shalfey is very stuck, and forZe seem a bit lost at the moment. zorte will get his kill, but there's not really any place to escape for him. He will molly out the murder hole to stop MHL from pushing forward. But T-spawn is really his only safe path, so it's going to be 4-0. And yeah, no, I'm just thinking about it. I mean, it's not something they can do mid-series, as it's not obviously a confirmed 5th player, but it does make you wonder, especially as we end off in Mirage and Assault was a weak point, whether they would have been better off with forZe in this one situation.
Yeah, I think that these are conversations that forZe and higher ups, the Jerrys, the Fierces, and maybe even some people above that are going to be looking at, regardless of the result here. And I think
still have a decision to make, for sure.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, right, for me, if it's my decision, I'd always go in favour of forZe. And that's not even just because, there's a youngster towards results and whatever, but I was always a huge fan of him back in Entropic. And I would always say that it was him and Nickelback that are actually the 2 best players. And Crad was actually, he had, gave him his flowers. He had his moments. But I think forZe and Nickelback were just so consistently brilliant over towards Entropic, and actually especially when they stepped up in towards the more kind of tier 1, tier 1.5, whatever, when Elian really couldn't live up to his expectations as an AWPer, it was those 2 who always bailed them out time and time again. And I think he's such a brilliant player in terms of he can just mold into any system. For me, forZe seems like the surefire choice. I'm not sure if there's external things that maybe is kind of a decision behind it, right? Maybe interpersonal relationships, whatever it is, right? There's other things, external factors that maybe could be a problem. But
yeah, I mean,
if it was my decision, I know where I'm going. Maybe Jerry sees something as well, though, right? I mean, he has such a history with raising and nurturing talent into being stars. So maybe he's seen something that we haven't yet, and maybe this guy is one for the future.
No, fair enough. Assault, honestly, he's not been awful. Absolutely, it's not like we're banging on the guy for being an absolute liability. It's just yesterday he had a poor Mirage and it's not a good start this time. Maybe he will completely shut us up. And here we go. forZe, half buy round coming in with that saved AWP. shalfey's AK is baited in and will take the opening duel. NertZ's long range spray, and that's a whiffy one. Yes, insurance, thanks to Surreal. But the bomb can go down on default, and shalfey can hold CT in a 4v3. This could be a great way to get an opening round. I agree with your comments about forZe. I do believe that's something they're going to be figuring out after this grand final. According to some social media posts, Assault will get caught off again. Surreal still lurking around that smoke. Assault really wanted that gun. Did take it, but then gets taken out. shalfey and zorte, though, are in position, and these are the 2 men you'd want. There's zorte's kill. And shalfey may be blind, but he's ready to take the duel. Long-range spray misses, though. And there's still kits on Max and Surreal here. zorte going super aggressive to try and take it. Misses his shot, and it's all down to Jerry. But the time is way too low. Well played, Jerry. Even gets the kill anyway. Will he survive? Oh, he goes down to the bomb. But does not matter. forZe get off the mark thanks to the IGL's heroics.
There we go. Needed something. Just needed a little bit of a lifeline extended. Just to open that door. Give us a bit of a conversation to talk about forZe putting up a decent T side. And there we go. Now we can start being alright and saying, hey, forZe, they've got something in the locker here. Did take, you know, it was extremely expensive. And that's something that Endpoint can at least roll with a little bit for them. Saying that, you know, even when forZe find success, if we're making it expensive, then you're always going to struggle in terms of having consistent long-term economy. But all in all, forZe find a first round. That's what matters most. Now, double stack in towards Con. NertZ will hold under. MHL towards top mid. Did spot one earlier, but wasn't able to connect on towards the shot itself. And I don't think Crad really wants to test it.
Yeah, MHL actually already out of utility early on, but he's got the op, which is all that really matters. Great for Endpoint. Money is stretched. forZe win that round. But of course, it's not like they won on their half buy with a number of players alive. Everyone went down. So the full reinvestment has to come back in. Which means it's kind of one of those swing rounds, which one or the other will be on an eco afterwards if there are no saves. Jerry had a Zeus again. Someone T-side has been ridiculously successful with the Zeus over the last few days. But we'll certainly stick to the AK in this one. Salt lurking in Palace behind the smoke. Surreal making his way down the ladder. Hang on that tight angle on top of the bricks. Not an angle you can easily get off of. They get stuck under there sometimes, but he will move off of it now. 30 seconds. It's time for forZe to make their mind up. And it looks like it's going to be the A-bomb site now.
That's it, and they're still very slow. They're not making a decision just yet. MHL pop shot for the smoke, won't find success. A flash is brilliant, and so is a shot from Retail as Crad makes it get one more. That is a textbook ace-I execute. While NertZ finds herself one, can he deliver on much more? Probably not. Hang on a second, though. What about angle? zorte will fall too. They're crumbling. What is going on, forZe? This is not how you set yourself up in a post-barn scenario. It's Crad and Orb and 33 points of HP. They try and deny. They try and find some success, but what a retake from Endpoint.
Damn, that's crazy. And the thing that really puts forZe to bed there is the fact that the bomb plant and the time remaining on the clock. They try and plant in front of triple, like you would normally do. Then the short player comes in really, really late. That shocks them. zorte tries to peek to help out and distract them from that bomb going down, which they did. But in the meantime, zorte giving up his life to that short player, great frags indeed, means that they just keep on dwindling. The FAMAS takes the player coming through murder hole when he could have just stayed put. And that is the start of the crumble. That very decision to plant where they did. And that's what Mirage can be like sometimes. Planting can be so terrifying. Not knowing the information exactly where the retake's coming in. I think maybe the only safe position they could have planted was in that one. But by that point, they had already lost players from committing to it. As I mentioned, zorte trying to take point to keep that alive. But with that bomb plant they got, even though they lost a round, technically because of it almost, it does give them a bye. Utility isn't great, but weaponry is.
Mirage T-side can be a cruel mistress at times, and forZe is starting to slowly realise exactly that. Nade will come through. Jerry, nice space for him. Does Heavy God really want to peer out too far? Molotov will come through. That'll give away his ruse. How does Jerry and co play this mid control that they've got? Heavy God will just fall away. He doesn't want to take too much of an aggressive start. I like it. And MHL will use the light. Then a mid-jump coming through as NertZ will open up the proceeding. shalfey to fall. Was that a gun barrel spotted? Maybe. But the smoke keeps Crad alive.
Oh my goodness. NertZ on a tear here. He's got an 11-3 start to the CT side of Mirage. Creep through the smoke doesn't work. Crad is making so much noise, thought he may be distracted, but in the end, Crad is the one that has to get that kill. And Surreal is still hiding toward Firebox. They even think to clear it out. Result does. Really well done. He checks it by jumping up on the balcony, but MHL is still here, and there's a second. zorte is left last alive with a sliver of health. Not much to do. 30 seconds remaining as well with a bomb in no man's land. Might want to try and take the loss bonus here, because Endpoint might pounce after time. And there it is. MHL takes the kill. Big round from him once again. Tripling down. And Endpoint continue to pull away.
You know, as a UK boy, and some would maybe say an Endpoint fan, doing alright right now. I'm feeling pretty good. forZe, not so much. They're 5 rounds down, and the economy is dwindling. They can muster up in towards Tech 9s and half armor, in towards round number 8, but they couldn't really afford that full buy, so they have to just play a half here and kind of on paper, maybe give up a 7th over towards Endpoint. This is such a good start for the CT side, and goes back to what I was saying coming into this. Whoever wins the knife round and picks into that CT is going to have this innate little confidence booster about them. But you kind of see it exactly right now. So far, so good. And for forZe and Co, looks like this is going to be standard smoke so towards the A side. That setup coming through. It worked before in terms of getting him on the side, getting a bomb down. It was just the post plant that was dire. This time, can they fix their previous woes? And no one's actually really here to meet them.
So this is going to be an interesting one. Smoke's going to be up. Pistols can play up close. Jerry trying to go super aggressive. They're going to go charging through, but there are 2 players that are charging through, and that's the problem. Bit of team damage in the mix there as well. The bomb can't go down. Molotov will miss and get extinguished, but shalfey and zorte are in a very tough spot. NertZ is here to bail them out. There's the spray. There's a shot from MHL. Even though he takes another dink, it's 7-1 for Endpoint. forZe unable to get a stranglehold of T-side Mirage, a side which they've done such good work on in the past. Some of you may remember they beat Astralis on this map at the end of the IEM Rio RMR, knocking Astralis out of the major contention. First major they ever missed as an organisation and as a group of players. They're not showing form on it today when they really need it.
Gotta say, for now, forZe need a bit of a miracle. This has been gruesome to watch so far. The T side is not finding any success, and it again goes back to that conversation we're having. Mentally, are these guys, you know, a bit deflated after what was a brutal end to their map pick of Overpass? Crowd good start. Jerry needs to be careful. He will get his dues though. A Surreal or fall, and the AWP might be in a bit of a tough predicament. There's Resol jumping down the ladder. This is the second round here, as MiGHTYMAX all alone over towards that kitchen position, just playing for exits.
There's some of the impact from Result. Moran was comfortably in forZe's favour anyway, but he just secures it, clicks his fingers, gets a couple of kills. Nice shot, Max. He'll be off to try and save the AK. It's actually a semi-important save as well. He might be about to lose it from apartments. There we go. So the fact he doesn't save means that Surreal is on a double eco, but kind of no one else is. Everyone else can buy, but no one really has the money to drop necessarily. So Surreal might be left on just a pistol here, with everyone else on a decent gun. Have he had 3,600 going into this? So he's on MP9 or FAMAS for sure. forZe might just need the one more round to break the Endpoint economy and get back into this half.
I'll say as well, I think that the core here has to be that full buy, right? I think, you know, with Surreal being on a double eco anyway, it may as well just, you know, make him use something like a 5-7, half armor, bit of util. The rest of the team full buy. Heavy God, of course, can muster up in towards the M4 when S is okay. Oh, Surreal's got a drop anyway, so we're all good. Not actually the end of the world. Over towards Endpoint here, full buy coming out. But this is a bit of a, you know, it's quite a crucial round for them, right? In a case that for Endpoint don't find this, forZe already find 3, but it breaks for economy, which means they've got a pretty good path to getting at least 5 rounds before things start to, you know, get back to Endpoint being okay and comfortable. So they need to be really careful. Crowd once again taking some mid control. These orb shots are actually getting pretty close for comfort. Crowd still got a lot of space to work with, as NertZ just over towards bottom stairs.
I think forZe have noticed that Endpoint haven't very often had a very aggressive short player. So crowd's pushing down mid pretty comfortably. Of course, he has to check it in case Endpoint change it up. But I feel like for the duration of the series, Jerry has actually been very good at figuring out the setups of Endpoint. And look where Max is playing from. He's playing completely retake on the outskirts of Market. So the B site is open for Result to plant. They did lose crowd in the meantime. MHL with that important pick again. But the problem is, Endpoint's money was so stretched to get everyone on a gun. Again, no defuse kit in play here. So they're going to have to get a pick pretty quickly to make this retake a possibility, and that could be the one. Beautiful shot from Heavy God. Zorte will drop. Result down to 1 HP as well. He will go down. Jerry will go down. It's all shalfey. There's one. There's two. Looking for a third. There's 3 headshots. And he's wasting the time brilliantly here is shalfey. Time will be an issue, but I think they're going to be all right. It's a real nice try from shalfey, but Endpoint survive.
Fine margins. Extremely fine margins. I mean, look at that timer. God damn. Half a second left on it. But it will mean that Endpoint guarantee a lead at the half at 8 rounds collected at the very least. forZe still struggling, and we said that was a needs must for Endpoint. They had to be converted. The fact that they do, now we're in such a strong position overall. Open play for MHL, still one over on the other side for zorte as well, so they're okay. The T side, despite the consistent lost rounds with the loss bonus plus the amount of damage they've been doing and the bomb plants they're getting, their economy's actually been chilling for quite a while. They're in a position now where they can continuously fall buy in, but obviously for them, they'd much rather be winning rounds. shalfey snuck his way under the scope, over towards bench. MHL still holds towards top mid. Crowd doesn't really want to peer his head just yet.
shalfey is known for making these like solo plays and has a great brain for sort of mid-round situations, but yeah, I don't know if he, obviously taking the risk is a really big one, but he could have maybe gone through that connector smoke and managed to find a kill. As it is, Endpoint get both, and they can't fight their way back in. forZe, Holy God, will take his kill, and shalfey, even though he has got himself into a good position, he leaps his way into MHL, and that's the only way to deal with that one. Some shenanigans to stop the AWP from creeping forward and taking him down. Does still hit the leg, of course, but it keeps shalfey alive. And zorte is going to catch Heavy God, making his way up the ladder. Suddenly, it's been recovered. The problem is the bomb is still back in T-ramp, and if Max gets his skates on here, he could be here quick enough to stop zorte from picking it up. 35 seconds, in goes Max, he's got no clue obviously that it's there. A Molotov in spawn that's for free, that's always handy. zorte goes to check it, and now he gets spooked. And Max will have to fall away. Still a 2v2 though. But time really does not favour forZe, and of course Surreal is close. It's the two UK players, of course, the UK duo. It's coming for this one. All the experience in the world. shalfey, oh, he's not spotted Max. Duel is going to be a headshot one. It's going to be close. 1 bullet needed and takes it. So it's zorte 1v2. They know he can't really be in too many different positions. Firebox it is. Has to take one particular duel. zorte, what does he choose first? Molotov flying his way. So awkward for him, and he misses the shot. Max takes him down, and Endpoint figure out the situation. Another round, 9 on the board. At least a 9-6 confirmed. They're looking so clean.
That's a great round. I actually really got concerned when Max kind of quick switches in towards top mid, but he sees the connector play. You're thinking, oh God, please no. We're good. We really are good. Tech balls to come through, but overall, Endpoint, they are so happy with where they stand right now. 7-round buffer they have built up, and there's a world in which this could get worse and worse continuously. Just so messy over towards forZe. They are finding so little success. It goes back to what I was saying. I mean, there's positives to be taken for them. Bomb plants, kills being found, and of course the loss bonus all mean that they can still continuously buy, but they would much rather have the rounds on the board, because this is getting to a point of already us starting to ask this question internally. Is this too little too late? Are we at now a point where we have to say, I can't see a world in which forZe get back into this? I don't think we're just at that stage right now, but it's definitely getting there. I mean, this has really been rough,
yeah,
to say the least. It's not been comfortable CSGO from forZe, and this is not the forZe that we know and love as well. A side who can, at times control games, dictate the pace, the tempo, utilize every bit of information to their own. Endpoint are being allowed so much freedom on that CT side, and while they may not be taking as much mid control as you usually expect, they don't need to because they're more than happy to play retakes because so often they convert them.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the replay, of course, of that previous round on the stream, and it's kind of crazy that if forZe had the bomb with them, rather than drop toward ramp, while they might not have got that information where Max was, they would have had it and maybe had a plant quicker toward the site, and it would have completely changed the outcome because Zorte would have been full health from it. So yeah, you know, it's all ifs, buts and maybes and shoulda, coulda, woulda. forZe, this is the reality they're in.
Pixel Peak, we saw Crad use that yesterday, and actually, funny enough, that was the turning point in the game against Falcons. They were 5-0 up at one point. Crad uses that Pixel Peak, wins the round off the back of it, and they ended up winning the map. So, maybe that's their lucky charm. Anyway, in towards mid, a lot of space being given, granted over towards the T side as Max up here in towards ramp. Oh, we'll spot the first, and Zorte picked off MHL. That is lightning fast.
If MHL and NertZ make Pro League again. Also, MHL has been there with AGO in the past. NertZ was there last season with Endpoint. They all have all their celebrations, I'm sure, because they will truly deserve it. I think it's fair to say both teams will deserve it. However, they've been brilliant. forZe are lurking in here. shalfey's got a lot of presence. Max has no clue. Max has no clue at all. He could be up so far. Easy one tap, but NertZ is still here and trades it. But Surreal entering at the right time means it's all down to NertZ, and he only gets the 2. So forZe have battled their way in to a 2v2 once again. But this time they're a bit more healthy, and they have a flash to take CT. MHL lurking in, very low of course. Heavy goes on a secondary AWP, picked up 2. That's probably not a good time for it when you have to retake. And Crad will take MHL's head off. Heavy Gods found himself the AK though. Angle being held by Crad, destroyed though, and he gets caught with the incendiary out. Big 1v1 won by Reassault, the youngster. 3 kills on the round for him. forZe continuing to stay afloat, but only just.
He gets caught by his own flash as well. That's the thing that actually lost MHL that round.
Yeah.
If he wasn't caught by his flash, it's a real good, opportunity that he can react in time. I mean, Reassault only went for body shots there, so definitely could have been the case. Still, attack pause, a second of 4 to be used by forZe. As they've picked up, finally, another T-side round. But, my God, they've still got such a treacherous journey to get back in towards this game. 9-3, a 6-round lead. Endpoint still hold. But, of course, you see Endpoint, despite all the success they've been having, and despite all of the, the longevity and whatnot, they've got an eco towards the next. It's a pretty grim, or it's a force buy, actually, in fact. It's gone for a FAMAS. There's pistols around it. Despite the wealth of a lead that Endpoint have built up, their economy has always been kept super fragile because while forZe will lose the round, they make it expensive on the way out. And now it's come back in dividends. Because this should be forZe finding their 4th.
Should indeed. Slight chance at a recovery round. And maybe even 2 in a row. This is a full force buy from Endpoint, but they're going very aggressive up mid, and that could be a way to work it. NertZ and Heavy God get a couple of kills, but forZe do recover the man advantage. It's alright. No reason to panic at all. Utility recovered as well. MHL has pushed in very deep. Joey has to be aware with the Mach 10 here. And there certainly is, and does take the kill. It should be safe now. Max has a deagle and a kit, but not much use for it. And of course, as I said, this being a full force buy, there is a real chance here for forZe to reach 5.
That money has always been such a problem over towards Endpoint. Even when they've been finding success, it's just the consistency at which they can make it expensive for us. I mean, at least Max got an AK to work with. Does he play aggro in the X? It's looking like he's having a little peer in. I don't know if I agree with this too much. As he will fall to the hands of shalfey. I think they would have been much better off just having an AK to work with. maybe drop it over towards the likes of NertZ, who's been playing really well so far, and see if he
It
can...
had the deagle too, right?
You know,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Work some of the
so
magic.
much.
I think that the save call would have probably been the better one if I'm the one making the decisions there, but other ideas for Max. Either way, forZe's up, they're sent up to 4, and as you mentioned, rightfully so, they should find a 5th because, well, still, double eco situation for Endpoint. This is the second part of it, so you're just going to see round number 14, the penultimate of the half, be relatively comfortable as they just run out towards B. No one's there to meet them. It's a gamble stack towards the A site, and well, it's the wrong call. It's a 50-50, and, well, unfortunately, not this time for them.
Yep. A 4-man stack toward Ticket. All those stacks are often pretty fun to see. Famously, some of those have come up successful as well. And now it's just a charge for Endpoint. And it's a charge that may have had a FAMAS and a deagle if they'd saved in the previous round, but well, in this case, nice hold of mouse one from Result. This is certainly a more productive Mirage for him than yesterday. Nice, solid, positive KD on T side. Helped up by some ecos, sure, but he's had some impactful gun rounds too. You mentioned him earlier, but he stepped up well. And it's a good sign, certainly, for the future, wherever he may end up.
Agreed.
This is obviously a Tier 2 team. It is one of the best, Endpoint, so it shows he can perform here. And I'm sure he has a chance to improve. Only 17, of course. Endpoint going for the same strategy again here. Aggressive toward mid. This time on a gun round, rather than a force buy with pistols. So, last one of the half coming in. It's going to be a 10-5 or a 9-6. Surreal playing smoke fade. Often works out in the CT's favour. Who sees who first? Good kill Result. Recovers it well. That's an opening pick to work with. They might pounce toward A off the back of it as well. They're not going to go just yet because the bomb is still in T-spawn.
We got does take a tag as well. He will net himself with a kill. shalfey, not a clue in the world. Max elevated angle. Worked in his favour now, of course. Now we can start cooking on all gas. I mean, for Endpoint, they got the numbers in their favour. A decent amount of control as well. And they had information about where the T's were setting up. This is a really good hole for them to work with. If Jerry's low HP too, just make sure they don't overextend.
Very, as you say, walking wounded. However, it's a glimmer of hope if Zorte can get himself into position. 30 seconds to go, and Result has some progress here. Could find Heavy God for free. They don't know he's through so far. There it is. So back into an even situation, but in comes NertZ. Fortunately for Jerry, he's not looking his way, and he takes a high HP player. So 2v2 again on the A site. Third time this has happened. MiGHTYMAX charging in, does find Jerry. And now it's Zorte again. We've been here before. And he do it this time around. Finds MiGHTYMAX quickly, but he's not looking the right way. Now he hears Max, though. Knows exactly where he's coming from. Zorte, this could be a big play. And he finds it. And that could be a huge lifeline for forZe going into the second half. It's going to be a 9-6. One more half to go to find our final slot in Malta. Don't go anywhere.
From the back roads to back streets, I see you foes trying to trap me. But I don't run like a track meet, even though I'm #1 like an athlete. And the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin-checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone. I'm the one, I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one, I'm right here. I get it in, I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you scared. I'm your worst nightmare. Are you prepared? I'm your worst nightmare. I know you're scared.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're about to get on the way in towards the second half of the final map of this series today. Conference as a whole, one of these two teams will be booking their tickets towards sunny Malta, and one half decides who it's going to be. Endpoint, you take a lead at 9-6 on the decider. forZe got a fairly decent journey to get back in towards this game.
Yeah, we mentioned first, even pre-map and pre-series, that this game was going to be close, and both of the opening two maps were 8-7 at half, and this one is still close as well at 9-6. Fast play coming in, Jerry has to reposition very quickly to the top of the balcony, and Crad will continue to distract. Now Jerry's been spotted too, and MHL takes him beautifully. The fallback has to come through, and that duels have to be won. The team damage coming in as well, and that's not going to help out. Surreal will plant. And Endpoint, a 4v2, had somehow needs to take this kill, and now he's only got 14 bullets left too. That spam isn't successful. It's for Assault, the new boy, and Crad to retake it. Need a bit of a miracle here, with no kit in play as well. NertZ going to be flanking. Assault finds that one beautifully, but now it's all down to Crad. He can't complete it. Surreal finally gets it done. And Endpoint take a critical T-pistol. Up first to double digits as well. Looking solid, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, there is. There is still a lot of work to be done, but for Endpoint, they are sitting pretty right now. Back-to-back pistols taken for them on the decider really does help things out. They extend the lead to 4 rounds. And of course, have a much healthier buy in towards round number 17. AKs on display for Surreal and MHL. NertZ will wield a Galil of Max 10 for MiGHTYMAX and Heavy. Got over on the side. There is a full buy. But what they bring to the table isn't as much of a gold mine. Scout to work with, an MP9 for shalfey. And there's pistols in support as Jerry's already forced off top wood.
Big force by for forZe. They find a way to win this one, then it's a completely different half coming in. Assault moving a little bit further forward, but in the end, he'll hit a nice headshot though. Mitchell will go down. Surreal needs to be a little bit careful. There are plenty of players here for forZe actually. NertZ will hear the drop of Assault next to Connector. A big clomp as he lands back on the ground again. He won't really want to pick that again, just in case. Endpoint were taking the one back toward B, but they're just waiting and biding their time. They've got plenty of time in the round, so may as well use it. Also toward ramp, Crad toward under. Endpoint about to walk their way in. With NertZ still in mid, he's now tagged down very low as well. What can zorte get done? There's the information. Still, they've got Crad under Balk as well. Spotted him out though. Now he's very stuck indeed. Heavy God spams him down. Result does get one more. There's zorte. And the HP on NertZ was low from earlier on. Shalfey is on a big flank here as well. He can now run. I'm pretty sure that NertZ won't be hearing him from this far back. And that's the catch. Oh, he's behind him and it's guaranteed. So they know where one is. And the bomb is not yet planted. zorte will hold that line from jungle, but he can't hit the tag and won't be able to reface. Surreal should be able to get this bomb planted and will do, but shalfey is still a snake in the grass here. Surreal could be in the open too. He just gets behind triple. Now he's in the open. Tap's coming through, and now they're both so low. Shalfey goes for the swing, finds the first. The man he's been tracking all along. And it's all down to Surreal. Bomb will be held as well by shalfey, even though he's just without that defuse kit. And Surreal cannot remove him off it. He does hit the dink through triple box, but he just holds it down. Balls of steel. Even gets the kill as well. Shalfey, cool as anything. forZe recover.
That's a really, really good round. And it's all from one man. Individually, shalfey has come up huge there. And that's one that can really turn the tides of momentum as well, because I mean that should have been a surefire endpoint win. That should have been 11th on the board. The minimal investment that forZe had to work with there in terms of firepower, they somehow made it work. And if they were to lose this series, that's the sort of round that they're going to look back on and think we never should have lost that. Fine margins, really, really fine margins, and not a great start either, as Crad will find the first damage on towards Max 2. Nade will coming towards mid and tag up Surreal. It's a great start for forZe.
That's what they want NertZ for. Those sort of aggressive entries, but that one doesn't work out for him. Reminder, of course, for those of you who are just joining us, that this is for the one remaining EU spot in Pro League in Malta, the main stage, through the conference stage. If forZe are to make Pro League, it'll be the first time in almost 3 years. Back then, Complexity had Blame F, Config and Poison. North still existed. Astralis had their legacy roster. It's a long time ago. And a couple of tags from that scout from zorte just make this round ever more difficult. And the grenade will deal with Max. Not much you can do about that. I'm also dropped in connector. Another nade comes MHL's way. And zorte is hitting all the shots with the scout. He's been so consistent with that scout throughout the entirety of this tournament, hasn't he?
Yes. I mean, he just doesn't seem to mess with it. Put a scope in his hands and he'll make it work so often. He's so reliable, zorte, as well. I mean, you know, we've looked over to the likes of shalfey at times, had some really, really quiet performances, but zorte always manages to at least be somewhat consistent in terms of in the fragging department. A little bit negative today, but, you know, forZe really struggled, you know, to kickstart things, actually, where he has slightly fallen off. The likes of Resol has stepped up and kind of filled the void a little bit. So, all in all, so far, so good. Jerry will step up. And MHL, I think he fell off a time there. He did.
Oh, no, he has.
No money for him.
That is a nightmare.
That's a blunder.
No.
Half the time, money is not in a good way. MHL had to push half a second earlier and would have been fine. Oh, forZe have been given an extra cherry on top there from nothing.
I can't believe it. Endpoint trying to save on T side. forZe take the gamble, and it's paid off for them. MHL $150 into the next round, and no one on Endpoint above 2 grand. It's the old-fashioned Palace drop to try and get a bomb plant, but it's not going to work out. Clean sweep for forZe, and suddenly things are as even as it could ever be once again. MHL is forced down to a scout in this following buy, so it's not awful. But future money, of course, if he wants that AWP, may be a long way away.
Gotta say, that is, you know, some long-term implications have come through now off the back of just one very, very small, you know, rookie error, essentially. Look where we now find ourselves. You know, MHL vying for a really, really low buy, attack pause called, and these are the sort of things that, you know, when we look at the grand scope of this game and we look back at it, and whatever the result is, they're the ones that will keep you up at night and make you feel really rough about how things ended up being. And MHL you know, for Endpoint, if they are to go on and lose this, that's where he's going to look back and think, my God, you know, if I had a bit more money to work with, maybe a full buy to come out in towards this round, and that could have been the difference maker. Small, fine margins, but hey, job's not done just yet. Endpoint still hold a lead. Unfortunately, it does look like we are heading in towards a tack pause. Hopefully, we'll get the show back on the road in due time, and we can continue on what has been an extremely exciting map number 3.
I mean, yeah, map number 2 was pretty insane as well. So much fun. Yesterday was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
The Endpoint versus Sprout game, especially on Inferno, will live long in the memory. I'm sure some of you were there for that one. The Endpoint Ultras. Waiting to see if their boys can make Pro League once again. Or if Jerry can roll back the years, of which there aren't many, to be fair. As I said earlier, he's been on this team for almost 5.5 years now, Jerry. Brought up so many players, and he's only 24 himself. It is a pretty stunning history that he's got. He made Pro League way back in Season 11, at the beginning of 2020, as I said. Back then, his team was Facecrack, Almeza, Exapower, and Flit. Of course, Flit now is a major champion. This time, it's with a whole different group of 4. There's a chance he can do it again. As I said earlier, there's even more sort of aspects to how long it's been too. G2 still had Kenny and Amanek. Fnatic were fully Swedish. They actually won that season of Pro League, did Fnatic, with JW Crims, Brolin, Flusher, and Golden. They played Mouse in the final. You had Chris J, Rops, Carrigan, Woxic, and Frozen. Only Frozen remains of that roster now. Ents were fully Swedish when they moved away from Alexi B and took up Sunny, which never worked out for them. That was the beginning of the end for that roster. FaZe had Nico, Olaf, coldzera still on the team. Complexity used Oboe, Blame, Rush, Config, and Poison. Just tells you the history and the next step that Jerry and forZe could be about to take.
Massive throwbacks there, right? I mean, been a different world from the last time he was there. So, you know, it does beg the question, can he now get these boys back? Can he bring this new group of youngsters back in towards the game? Hopefully, we'll be back underway, and this tech pause will be done and dusted. We get the show on the road. But, you know, for now, we chill, we wait, we hold. As we contemplate, we take a breather as well. It has been manic at times, this series, you know, in its entirety. We have seen both of these two sides putting rounds into nothing. forZe were so deep in a well at one point where it looked like potentially this entire map could have been, you know, a whitewash in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
But they fought back into it. And now where we stand, they are 1 round away from tying it up. And you look over towards the Endpoint, the buy isn't going to be fantastic.
Reminder, of course, for those of you who are just joining us, updates, of course, on the forZe situation. From what I understand, they've been practicing with Result, the youngster, 17-year-old, and forZe, who, of course, is a lot more established in Tier 1 after his time on Entropic with Crad. And as far as I know, from Shalfey, I believe, on Telegram, obviously, this is just information that I've read. I can't access Telegram because I'm not Russian. But apparently they're going to be using either him or Result for the future, and the decision will be made after this game. And Result hasn't done anything bad for his case in this one, to be fair. He had a slow Mirage yesterday, but he's played very well today. Co-top fragging with forZe on this CT side, with Shalfey, both 16-13. NertZ lead the way on Endpoint, with MHL also on the KD of 16-13, actually.
To be fair, I think we've got to give Result his credit. I think he's actually been very decent towards Mirage, where yesterday he wasn't. Yesterday he had a really rough time. You know, he struggled to find that success and struggled to, you know, really be competitive in a way that he would have hoped. Today, though, he's looked a lot more consistent, a lot more confident as well. He's taking fights, taking engagements. It is going to be a very tough decision, I think, for whoever's at the top, trying to decide who do they pick. Do they go for the experience of Crad, or do they go for the potential of results, right? Where do they lean? Yep. I wouldn't want to be the one making that decision, I'll tell you that. Either way, hopefully, we are gonna get back on the way soon. We are in a tech pause right now, so I really don't have too much more information.
That's currently the issue. The
right
TV's
now.
broken.
Yeah, the TV's broken. We're trying to fix it so you guys at home can watch. But yeah, for now, we hold and wait. We are in a very brief tech pause. Hopefully, we can get the show on the road.
It's not a great time for it as well in general, right? Maybe this doesn't hurt your eyes too much, by the way. Unless you like colours, of course. Colours are pretty cool. But yeah, we're literally in the midst of the game. We've zoomed into the TV market, and we've zoomed out from the TV in TV room. Jonas, our observer, having some fun in the tech pause. But yeah, I hope you all stay with us for the end of this one, because this does decide the final slot from the EU bracket in Pro League. Of course, the other two teams to make it through the upper bracket were Eternal Fire, perhaps surprisingly to some, beat Sprout in the upper bracket game. And of course, Sprout didn't even make it themselves, losing to Endpoint yesterday. And saw the Portuguese group of players who've had so much success toward the end of last year kept up that success, made it through to Pro League as well. Through to Malta, of course, it's just the conference stage. Group stage, a trip is what's on the line. Plenty of teams, of course, were in this event, especially in EU as well. All the regional invites from winning their regional tournaments from Turkey, Portugal, Spain, Poland as well.
Yeah. Just
to name but a few. Even a Swiss invite, Dutch invite. All grouping up to take part in this. There's 3 slots available. We figured out 2. Need to figure out 1 more. Hopefully this tech pause won't be too long, guys. Do hang around. We're filling to the best of our ability, I think. If you guys are enjoying it. I can talk to you. Yeah, I can talk to you a little bit more as well about just the other teams, actually, before we get on the game back underway again. They were, of course, around back in forZe's last sort of attempt in Pro League. You know, the Endpoint last year beat Navi, incredibly so.
That's it, yeah.
That was one of the upsets of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. And the other teams, of course, when forZe were involved, which was Season 11, early 2020. Big still had Xantares. That name's another one. Well, Xantares has made Pro League again with Eternal Fire. This time around. OG's team was NBK, Alexi, Valda, Mantu, and Issa. They don't have anyone left on that one now, apart from Valda. That's a lie. He's on Ents now. That's a lie. Apologies. But they have no one left from that roster now. Navi was still using Flamey and Boomich, of course. NIP's roster was Rez, Lekro, Plopsky, Twist, and Nork. Vitality had RPK and Shocks. And even a God-sent roster with Makalele, Crystal, Zen, Sticker, and Madden on it was doing the rounds too. Pretty insane period, of course. I always like looking back at the old rosters and just seeing how it is. How times have moved on. Anyway, the ticks in chat might indicate that there's still an issue going on at the moment. We don't know how long it will take before it will be fixed, but I'm sure it will be very soon. We're going to go to a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We still need to find our 1 remaining Pro League spot. Stay with us.
Broken bones and a bloodstained flag. Open road and nomadic plans. in a quiet town. Bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn that flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get ya. I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'ma bring it in the firefight. I'm coming to get ya. I'm coming to get ya. I'm the reaper in the dead of night.
Apologies for the delay. Even though it's not my fault, I feel obliged to apologise to you guys because it's been a while, but we are back in the game. 10-9 Endpoint, a lot on the line, as you all very well know. Pause is sorted. The coach's problems of crashing are fixed. We have restored the round beautifully, and MHL has restored a 5v4 as well. What a shot that is to remove zorte from the round. The scout rings off to start the resumption of this third map.
Just as we were saying as well, for MHL, with him dying after time just a round and a bit ago, we were saying maybe that might come up to bite them. With the scout, not too bad. Lovely shot there from Max to find Crad. No way, Trav. What a comeback. What a good start already for Endpoint.
Oh, nice tap from shalfey though, and this nade's going to be pretty decent. Oh, but Surreal still takes the head off of Jerry. And NertZ has found an assault on the rotation as well. Just like that, we're back into the action. And the round is done. 11-9 for Endpoint. Money's still good for forZe though. And we know, of course, that it's not been built up too superbly on Endpoint. It's a very clean round for them, which is critical. Considering, of course, the issue that MHL had in that other round, dying after time. So you won't have the AWP for a while just yet, as I said earlier. However, they do win the round, and that's all that truly matters. forZe looking to bounce straight back. Gap still just 2. Slot of 1 remaining for Malta.
The boss take once again. This worked well for Endpoint in towards the round prior. I've got a 2-round gap to work with, but this is an important one. Starting to chip away that forZe economy that they had built up so strong. You saw me a smoke in his face. Spam coming through. A lot of damage to the nades as well as NertZ is forced back. At least Heavy got isolated in towards Apps. MHL will fall as well to the hands of zorte. Zorte's right back. What a start. What a response. forZe live and kicking. They're awake.
That's a very good response as well. Max might catch a barrel of Crad here. There's the information pick. Crad going for it, but Max takes it well. Smoke on the entrance. Heavy God's found his entry toward Resort as well. This is dangerous for Jerry. Oh, he just recovers it. That was such a critical kill. 3 versus 3. Of course, he's low from that, but shalfey's still lurking around. Max on the edge of the smoke, top con. Zorte's shown his hand toward window, and shalfey's gun barrel might stick out there if he's not careful. Molotov won't spread there, I don't think. I think he's going to be okay there, shalfey. Oh, I tell a lie. I am very wrong, but he does get his 1 kill before going down. That is big. The bomb, of course, now can be planted by Surreal. Zorte's charging in with the up on the angle. That may have been heard by NertZ and Surreal. Can NertZ even flank this right now? Jerry's looking for it, and NertZ has found the kill. It's zorte 1v2, and he can't find Surreal. The recovery is again pretty insane from Endpoint. 12-9. forZe starting to fall away again.
They're pulling something out of nothing. I mean, again, we're seeing Endpoint start to find this form that, well, it's a form of old at times for Endpoint. It's sporadic. It's not often something that is so consistent for them. But my God, right now, Endpoint are looking like they've got a new lease of life and a new lick of paint on the walls. forZe down to just an M4A1S. And around it, well, it's not that great. It's just their priority of keeping money to work with in towards the next. So a couple of deagles. E250. shalfey, so much on his shoulders. So much reliance for him to find success. All alone, this can be so difficult. No AWP for MHL, but he does not mind. With an AK in hand, we know he can wield it just as well. This will be such a good opportunity. And if Endpoint are able to find 13 relatively inexpensively, oh, how this would change things.
shalfey boosted up on the short bricks, but look how close NertZ is. He's managed to creep underneath the sight line. They're going to have no idea that NertZ is actually in ladder room right now. Up ladder silently. And there's the shadow. NertZ sees everything. Go for the pre-fire. Well done. Well done, NertZ. Brain turned on. And 22 kills is his reward in this game. MHL takes zorte. Should be simple now to clean up this one. And on the back of the site, spam down on bench over and over. No dinks this time, like we saw yesterday. Some of you may have seen that clip with shalfey getting dinked about 8 times through bench and then Kenny hitting an insane clip. That was a fun one. But forZe this time don't win the round. Endpoint 13-9, 3 away from another Pro League berth in Malta. Everyone remember their win against Navi last season. Humongous performance, one of the biggest upsets of the year. And forZe fight back.
Max in towards mid. Inked early doors. Thankfully, MHL there to bail Max out of that situation. It's a full buy-in response for forZe, but it's a great start for Endpoint. They find that first kill. Numbers in their favor. Now the T side can actually play for the trade game. And trades do benefit the T side usually. Making their way, that bomb in hand, slowly over towards the B site. As parked up over there is Result and zorte. NertZ, he's in a really, impossible position to say the least. The smoke is needed for him to get out of dodge.
zorte, oh, he's shoulder peeked by NertZ. Information, and now I can go for a peek again with the boost instead. I doubt he'll be given much after he's shown his hand toward that position, so the full rotation is in. He's going to leave for now, and maybe go back toward at least the apartments watch, or maybe the other side of the map. That's what I would do. I'd go back to A at this point. Max has crept out. He's spotted. Now it has though, and he's caught mid-spray. Well done, Crad. It will be a B play coming in, and zorte's in position. There's the opening. Long range spray from Result doesn't connect though. Heavy God, low HP. zorte is still here. Drop comes down. Fake comes through. And zorte has to strafe away and wait for his teammates to help out. Jerry is here. The Endpoint can get this bomb down, and look how advanced Heavy God is now. Crad though. What a play this could prove to be. It could be all down to him here. NertZ. 1 bullet from death anywhere. Oh, no, he's shown his hand, but of course he still gets the kill. And now it's down to the low HP of NertZ. 1, to be precise as well. Hits the dink, but Jerry hits his headshot too. And forZe stay alive. 13-10. And a chance to build up a run again.
My gosh, that looked like it could have been the decider. That looked like it could have been the round in which Endpoint find their 14th. And then maybe we start even saying job done, but credit once again. I thought Crad had maybe pulled the trigger just a little bit too early. Jumped the gun, so to say. But thankfully he's able to get his one and then stay alive just to keep his presence as a nuisance. forZe find double digits. Endpoint, of course, they themselves have money to work with, especially with that bomb plant. So a full buy in response. And this time annoyed, AWP in the hands of MHL, which is what matters most. Him with an AWP can be such a scary factor as zorte. Doesn't actually pull the trigger either, and Crowd will fall away. Now, actually, Endpoint have got all of this mid-control.
Yeah, little did they know they've got all of it at the moment. They haven't pushed down. They have underpass players to come and help out. forZe have 2 AKs picked up now on that CT side, and utility in a good state with 2 kits too. Neither of these two teams have really been that far apart from each other all game, all BO3. forZe chance to close it out on overpass. Endpoint clawed it back. 16-14. Now forZe are the ones to have to do the clawing. shalfey on the edge of the ledge on short. Gives him a bit more than a head to work with if they do go onto the bench and duel that position. MiGHTYMAX will move down. 40 seconds to go. It's time to move if you're Endpoint. You have to go for something. Crad in the window. NertZ is about to jump straight into him. Who sees who first? Oh, the flash is great. And they're body blocking the smoke. They're both so blind, but Crad gets the kill. Can you believe it? Now shalfey can advance as well. 30 seconds on the clock. Barely any time to get this bomb down, but there's some nerves in play now. shalfey's whiffing, but he can stay alive for now. You lucky little rascal. He does get away in toward ladder room, but now 15 seconds to get the bomb down. There are still players on the A site, but Heavy God's got his kill. zorte shows his hand towards CT. The bomb is still not down though. Now Crad can go aggressive, but he can't deny the plant. Oh my goodness, now Surreal's got the kill, but the time on the clock is not in their favour. Bomb is not down. They did get the kill in the end. A wild end to round 24. And forZe keep it rolling.
God, what a mess. What a mess of a round that was. A forZe escape by well, the finest of margins, but maybe you can even ask questions the other way to Endpoint. What happened there? Time is ticking. The clock is no longer their best friend, but the worst enemy, and they still don't pull the trigger on an execute, and they don't leave enough time to clear the angles, clear the sight, and see off the round in their favor, and they're winning their duels as well. It was just they had so little time and space to work with. And now it's at Endpoint in a really weird situation with Max. You know, for him, he can't really afford a buy, so just a Glock for him to work with. He's going to play a little bit of just a decoy, essentially. A live decoy, trying to sell a bit of a fake. The AKs try and find some space in towards under.
And of course, have to consider the situation for Endpoint in that previous round as well, as that they do manage to survive just. Both of them are very low. They do keep their guns, which obviously wasn't the case earlier. That they didn't die after time was a minor miracle. Keeps them afloat in this round. Except for Max, of course, bless him. Basically on a full eco, sacrificing himself for maybe the future and the end of this series. Maybe a smart idea. Keep some sort of money in play. Utility is still in an okay situation. As for forZe, it's kind of getting a bit low now. They have one re-smoke. And now one grenade left. Crad in the corner of connector, 6 HP to spare. shalfey trying to help out. It does give Crad a free kill. Max has to hop away, of course. We know he's the one with only that Glock, and Result's doing a great job. The young 17-year-old standing up tall and holding down the B-bomb site. Jerry's there to help out, and forZe are back in this one now. Money is a bit 50-50 for Endpoint. They can buy on a couple of players, but only really 3 out of 5. And forZe are now just one behind.
They're crumbling. I mean, now Endpoint are really not looking comfortable. This is not what you'd hope. They had such a lead to work with, so much confidence under their belt off the back of the restart. And forZe are well and truly in control, and we haven't seen Endpoint go for a force buy. This is risky. It feels like a bit do or die, but a good tag early doors. shalfey with the right ideas, though. MH shells a fall, and there's the opener. Zorte adds one more to his tally, and Result will lock it off. Bomb down, and surely round done and dusted.
It's the two monsters, though. Heavy God and NertZ, and they are going aggressive here. It's a bit scary. Oh, but Result pre-fires it beautifully. Well done. And with the bomb completely under the CT control, this will be an equalising round for forZe, and they're building up their own money as well as we end toward this insane series. Who goes to the main stage, the group stage of Pro League? Nice kill, NertZ, but at the moment, it's just consolations. One more, and then it does do good damage to the economy, and damage was worth it. Honestly, I would say that maybe getting the loss bonus and going down would be better for NertZ to take the money into the next round. He's got the 650 from getting those 2 kills. You just find that 1 kill. Oh, Crad's seen him. There's that cheeky gap in the box. There's the timing. He's been low HP basically all round. But he gets away with it. And we're even. 1 map each. 13 rounds each. With 1 slot left. It could not be any closer, man. Unreal stuff.
It's a great little player from Crad as well. As you mentioned, you know, he got tagged down to 7 points of HP and the Molotov down to 6. You know, immediately into that round when he's in con. Now we're in a position where for forZe, this should be them taking a lead here. Endpoint, just pistols to work with. What a grim scenario. They were in control of this game entirely. And Crad looking to take a fight in towards short. But shalfey will step up for one. Crad one of his own as well. Through the smoke does not matter. The deagle of Heavy God will rattle off. Once again, goes back to that word we don't really like to use. It's consolations. And that's all it was. Just 1 consolation kill. It's forZe up to 14.
Wow. From 13-9 to 14-13. forZe, historically, have been great on Mirage, and right now they're showing it just when it matters. They need 2. Endpoint need 3. Full buy for both teams. Jerry on the org. We've seen him go to that comfortably a number of times in this particular tournament. An option that I kind of like now with the M4A4. Arguably slightly better now, or at least as even as it's been for a long while. Being an A1S user, use the org. have that bigger option. And look at Jerry. He picks up his balls and says, NertZ, I'm better than you. What a way to do that. Just pushes, holds W and takes the opening kill. And Endpoint are a man down.
Worrying times. This is not comfortable at all. MHL. Maybe we'll just go past him. It's actually alright. You start to feel so uncomfortable when you look at how things are coming down to the finals of margins. MHL's getting blocked as well. He will just about be alright. And MiGHTYMAX is to step up. It was him who stepped them in towards map number 3 yesterday with a fantastic performance on Inferno against Sprout. But we need to see more of that magic from him. And the rest of the team too, as they are starting to dwindle into obscurity. And it's really only NertZ and MHL who are consistently putting up frags on the board as Maxwell for Crad. Great timing.
Yeah, what a time to do it as well. At that particular moment while he's throwing the utility, Result always showing up here, and he takes Heavy God as well. The young kid's on an absolute tear, and this may be his time to arrive. What a 3k hold toward the edge of ramp. And it puts forZe on Conference and Pro League points. And 2 of them as well.
That might be also him booking his slot into the team too. I mean, this is, you know, for those who are maybe just joining us, forZe and Risol are both playing with forZe, and from the information that we've gathered, potentially they're making a decision on who's going to be locked into the team after this finals. That might be enough for Result to lock himself into a position. shalfey will fall off the angle. Let's take a little bit of damage. Endpoint take mid control, but now what do they do with it?
This is a great round for forZe to decide to pull out the secondary AWP as well. shalfey is very adept at that. Seen it pulled out so many times and been very successful as well. They have been tagged early on in this round, but at the moment forZe have all the advantages. Zugalil's in play for NertZ and MHL. I will feel a bit bad for Endpoint if they do fall here, because especially NertZ and MHL, and even thinking about yesterday and Max's insane performance to knock out Sprout, they all deserved it. I think it's fair to say everyone on the server deserves it now, but there can only be one winner. Endpoint creeping up mid, going towards short, but Zorte has got his eyes on this. Timing might not be too great. Max goes down to Result first. And now Zorte can activate on the balcony. Jerry playing with the smoke next to Heavy God 2. He's going through it. And that is some way to get a 5v3. There's Zorte. It's down to Surreal. And now only Surreal. forZe are on the edge. On the brink. Surreal gets 1. But in comes Crad. And he finishes the job for forZe. For the first time in 3 years, forZe are back to Pro League. And Jerry has done it again with a completely different roster. What a man.
You know, it's congratulations to forZe. It's commiserations to Endpoint. I think, you know, that restart really did mess them up a little bit. They had a bit of momentum under their belt, and maybe in another world, we could have seen Endpoint go back to Pro League, but it's not to be, and it's just so much credit has to be given